kids? This is Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared here with Bob. I have no idea what day it is. I have zero concept of time anymore. I don't know what's been happening. So I didn't know today was Tuesday, right? So peel the curtain back. We're recording on a Tuesday, like we do just about every single week. Didn't know today was Tuesday. But it's not just today. So just as a further example as to how my entire concept of time is totally fucked. Our trash day is on Wednesday, right? Trash comes Wednesday morning. So we usually put the trash out Tuesday night, right? That makes sense. That's what most normal people do. Well, I got home from work yesterday and I was like, oh shit, we got to put the trash out tonight. It's Tuesday. So I go and I rush around and I get the trash out and I do the whole thing, don't think anything of it. Go to work this morning, drive out of the driveway. Like 5 minutes after I drive out, I'm noticing like, oh, that's weird. There's no one else has their trash out. And then I get a text from Amy. We put the trash out a day early. Today's Tuesday. And I was like, yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. So to be fair, I didn't know what day it was today. It's not like I was like, oh no, it's not Tuesday. I just didn't think it was Tuesday. You know what I mean? It's not like I went through the whole day being like, oh, today's Wednesday. Like, no, I just had no fucking clue what day today was. I am all fucked up. I have no concept of time or space or anything in the last apparently 48 hours.
Yeah, this week's a fucking disaster anyway, but we are slammed at the gym.
Yeah.
So I'm super organized. I know what's going on. I've got my shit in order, but other people don't. So It's like I had a guy like, again, he forgot about a session yesterday. I had a woman forgot about a session today.
Yeah.
Like it's just a fucking shit show. This week.
Like we're literally sitting in the living room because we have one of those now, watching Casino Royale because I was talking about the new James Bond movie and I was like, oh man, I really don't want to watch it, whatever. And I'm scrolling through and I see it's $20 and I'm like, I mean, that's going to be something that I'm probably just going to have to watch, like, when I wake up early on like a Saturday morning or something like that. And then Amy's like, oh, well, like, are the new ones good? Because she watched one. I don't know which one she watched. She might have watched like a Roger Moore one with us when in Mansfield. Because she was like, I've seen one from like the 70s and I hated it when you guys were watching it in Mansfield. And I was like, yeah, that probably sounds about right. So I was like, I don't know. Do you want to give Daniel Craig a try? And she was like, do I need to know anything about James Bond? And I was like, nope. So we just started watching Casino Royale. We made it like, I don't know, 45 minutes in. And I saw your text and I was like, fuck, today's Tuesday. All right, cool. There it is. And here we are.
Speaking of Mansfield.
Yeah.
Shall we discuss the meth lab that blew up?
Oh, yeah. That was awesome this morning.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. We got a text from Nikos thinking like it was just a joke, right? Or he was just like saying something fucking weird, like nonsensical.
Well, it was funny because he sent a in that chat, he was like, oh, COVID cases are up again in Massachusetts. And he wants that because then he doesn't have to work.
Right.
And I'm going to fucking lose my shit.
Yeah.
If we have to start doing that again.
Yeah.
And then he immediately sent out Mansfield is a hazmat situation right now.
Yeah. And so when I saw that, I immediately Googled Mansfield, Mass hazmat.
Leo. Yeah. And I was like, great. What's he talking about? Leo. fuck, I got him down, and now he's digging up the mat that Michaela has underneath their bike.
Oh.
Hey, Liam, we brought you a new stick down for this. I don't know. I'm gonna with this guy. I'll throw his whale at him. It's weird. I just take the toys and I just throw it at him, and it doesn't really seem to like really do a whole lot.
It doesn't super strange.
It doesn't make him want it more or really any less either. It just kind of does nothing. Yeah, so then I look up what's happening in Mansfield or you guys had sent that there was a quote unquote chemical incident.
Yes. Yeah. Because I like I said, I Googled Mansfield, Mass hazmat, and then that's what popped up. So I screenshotted the headline of the article and sent it to the group.
So, chemical incident that requires hazmat suits in the fire department at 2 a.m. Again, some of the jokes we were talking about was like the baking soda and vinegar or the Mentos and the Coke.
Yeah.
That's not what went awry.
No.
That's a meth lab.
That is 100% a meth lab.
And now I'm curious, why did they have a meth lab on the second floor? Like, aren't meth labs usually in the basement?
You would think, yeah.
Yeah, you would think, but no, I guess not. Not in Mansfield.
Yeah.
They have to do it on the second floor with the fucking flames blowing out the window.
So that was just wild. But like anytime you see like a chemical situation, you just know like, oh, okay, cool. They're making drugs.
Dude, I'm gonna kill this dog. He won't come into the room, and now Michaela came to get him, and now he won't leave the room. Like, on what earth is this like how we do this?
Little fuck.
But it's probably because he found the mat and now he wants to dig at it.
Well, yeah. No, I gotta shred this mat that's too big to shred.
I mean, now I think he looked at that as though it was a challenge. Now he's sitting next to me. This is insane.
Yeah.
What is your story?
Now he's just like, okay, cool. Is this good here? Am I good here?
Yeah, and then she'll leave, and then he'll go back to digging the mat.
Yep.
It will be mid-thought, and I'll be trying to yell his name.
Yeah. This is the derailment episode.
Yeah, this is insane.
We can't complete one
show can see about 3/4 of his face.
Yeah. You can see him in the bottom corner there.
Yeah, but that's it. Might be right above the subscribe button. Might not be, but either way, I hit it.
But you should do that. You should subscribe if you're on YouTube. You might also know the room behind me looks a lot emptier than it has been in the past. It's because we don't live in this room anymore.
That's too bad, huh?
Yeah. So now I'm still waiting for a desk. I haven't gotten that yet. It was supposed to come in today. Well, it was supposed to come in Friday. Then it got delayed to between Sunday and Tuesday. And because now I know it's Tuesday, it was supposed to come today and we didn't get it.
Well, did Mayor Pete unlock your shipping container?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to give him a call.
Because I was gonna say he's the only one who can do it.
Yeah. So until then, I'm still standing up in front of a bureau as a desk because I don't have a real desk.
I mean, you should see the setup I have. I'm using like a side table thing, and my iPad's up on what would be like a chest of drawers, but it's like a felt chest of drawers.
Yeah, we make it work.
High class.
Yeah.
High budget productions of Sarcasm.
Yeah, clearly. All right. So you mentioned I forget what you mentioned earlier. No, before that, you were talking about lockdown when we were saying Nikos wants thing, because there was something that you had said that had prompted me to look up what I'm about to talk about. Um, and it was Nico saying lockdowns. So I just looked this up because I saw this like just through like my passings today. So I looked it up again and I found it, and this is from CNBC. So again, pretty left wing, right? The headline here says the White House says the U.S. will not lock down to fight COVID as European nations implement restrictions, right? Because this is all going on because Austria just went into full-blown fucking full-fledged lockdown again, and there's all kinds of crazy riots. There's a bunch of European countries. I think Italy, for some reason, stands out. They might be doing something. There's a bunch of countries in Europe that are like going back into lockdown. So someone brought up the question today and was like, hey, or yesterday, actually, because this was published on Monday, the 22nd. Someone was like, yo, so is that like going to be us? And the White House said, no, we're not doing that. Oh, the Netherlands. So it's Austria and the Netherlands. So White House coronavirus response coordinator, Jeff Zients, said, we can curb the spread of the virus without having to in any way shut down our economy. We have 82% of people now with one shot and more people getting vaccinated every week. So the whole thought process behind this, right, too, is they were saying we have enough things to sustain us to not have to lock down, right? Like we have the vaccines available for everyone. We now have therapeutic treatments available for everyone. So they're saying that we're not going to go back into lockdown, which is almost a full guarantee that we will go back into lockdown at some point. Because that seems to be the trend with these guys, right? If you remember way back in like April, when there were those rumors about vaccine passports, and Biden and his administration was like, no, we see no need for ever doing that. Well, we got them in a few states now, actually. You literally can't do anything in LA without a vaccine card. New York, pretty bad, right? So it's all over the place. Then you fast forward a little bit to probably like the summertime, right? Once more and more people started getting the vaccine, it was a little more readily available. And someone asked the question, hey, do you think there would be a nationwide mandate to get everyone to get this vaccine? And Joe Biden himself, this is not from his administration, he himself stood on the podium and said something along the lines of, no, we would never institute a mandate for the vaccine in this country. Well, a few months later, that came. So, like I said, here we are.
This is where they talk out of both sides of their mouth, because he could then argue, well, there is no vaccine mandate in the country. It's like, yeah, but you can't work if you don't have it. Well, right. Only if you work at certain places, like, again, like just talking out of both sides of their
mouth. Right. Yeah, you could make that argument. But so all I'm saying is, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a common retard, and I'm pretty good at picking up on patterns because of that. And they said there would be no vaccine passports, then there were. They said there would be no vaccine mandate, then there was. They're telling us there's going to be no lockdown. I don't know, man. You fool me once, fool me twice. Like, we're on fool me thrice at this point. Like, I'm just going to expect a fucking lockdown at some point. It's going to happen.
Imagine what fucking will happen down south, or really, yeah, like Alabama, Mississippi.
Yeah. That would make what's happening in Australia and Austria. Weird that those are the two countries that are kind of revolting and they both sound the same. But anyway, it would make what's going on in Australia and Austria look like fucking a middle school fight.
Yeah. Let Texas get involved.
Yeah. Well, you already know Florida, like DeSantis would probably fucking take the National Guard and like ship them and put them against the fucking federal government. Just turn them. Be like, nope, I'm putting National Guard at the border all across. We're closing Florida's borders. You can't get in. Fuck Georgia. Fuck Alabama. Fuck Mississippi. No, nothing. Nobody from anywhere. You can't get in. DeSantis would do some crazy big dick fucking move like that. Obviously, that I'm being hyperbolic, but like he would do something. You know what I mean? Like he would not let that fly. Abbott would probably try and do something. I don't know if he's running for re-election next year or not, but he's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like he's kind of like been clipped in the last 6 months or so because the Texas gubernatorial election, I think, is next year in 2022. And it's like, you haven't really heard much of anything from anybody at all. Because at first, like when the COVID first started going down in 2020, Abbott was pretty fucking active, right? He was one of the guys that passed the mandate that you couldn't, or passed a legal something that you couldn't make mask mandates in school. Right. So he was real active before, and now he's quieted down. So I don't know if that has anything to do with his decision on whether or not he's going to run again or what. Like if he feels like he can't be too crazy because he needs votes, or I don't know. Or he just doesn't give a fuck because he's not going to run for re-election. I don't know what's going on. But I think Abbott's kind of cooled off in the last 6 months or so. But DeSantis has not. That's for sure. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to watch. Like I said, there will be multiple things, but this is the third thing. Like I said, I'm sure if you sat down and actually looked, there'd be a laundry list of things that this administration has lied about. But this would be the third thing of magnitude in relation to coronavirus that they will have bullshitted us over. So,
I mean, all they do is bullshit us anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole vaccine thing, they just kept moving the goalposts. You know what I mean? Remember, it was 95% effective at something. And then they were like, yeah, if you get this, you won't get the virus. And they're like, oh, well, if you get it, you might still test positive, but you won't be sick. And they're like, yeah, so if you get it, you might still get sick, but you won't go to the hospital. And then people started going to the hospital, and they're like, well, if you get the vaccine, you might end up in the hospital, which is rare, but like you won't die. And then people started dying. And now people are like, what's the fucking point of this thing? Because you've just been moving the goalpost the entire time. And in the last episode, or is it the last episode or the one before, we talked about how we were hot on the trail when they shifted from talking about deaths to just cases. You know, the whole thing has just been bullshit from the beginning.
Well, and that's the thing is like at the very, very beginning, at least people were dying of this. I mean, whether it was correct or not, different story.
Yeah.
But humans were dying at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Now, you could also say, I did hear that some people said it's the response that killed people, not the actual disease.
No, that's a legit thing.
By putting people on ventilators too early,
the ventilators were the undoing for a lot of people, unfortunately.
You want to know how many deaths there were in the state yesterday? This is Massachusetts, according to me Googling COVID cases MA.
12.
16. 7-day average, 14.
Yeah.
But yesterday was a Monday, so that includes the weekend.
I don't know. Was it Monday?
Well, I'm telling you, I'm not asking you.
Yeah.
So, when did people? It was right around April 18th that everyone was kind of allowed to get the vaccine, right?
Yeah, for everyone. Because it started rolling out in like February, early February.
Yeah, and you could just get it whenever you want. But so I think the day was April 19th. I don't know why that sticks out in my head, but I'm an idiot, so that's probably correct.
Yeah.
On April 19th, there were 19 deaths. 7-day average, 11. Would you say that's statistically different than yesterday?
Probably not.
Okay. So now, let me pick like a halfway point. So 2 months after April 19th, that would mean June 19th, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So through the month of July, the 7-day average was between 1 and 5 deaths. So people are vaccinated, right?
Right.
So more people are getting vaccinated as time goes on, yes?
Ideally.
So 7-day average for August was between 2 and about 7. And then we get to September. What happens around September? Do you have any idea?
School starts.
School starts. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, right around September, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 23. Meanwhile, in Massachusetts, we have like the 5th highest vaccination rate.
Yeah. Yep.
14, 22 on 23 on that day, 27. Wow, it's steadily climbing. It's almost as if when people get sick, it happens in a same time every year type thing.
Oh, dude, would you say that it would be cyclical?
So then if I go to 2020, now this is where people get really mad. The 7-day average on deaths for the month of September, right around the same as it was this year. And then October, it starts to climb. What's today? What's today's date?
23rd November.
Want to know how many deaths there were on November 22nd, 2020?
Like through the 22 days of the month?
No, just on that day.
Oh, on that day? 16?
Yep. It was 24. And yesterday was 16. So you know what? The vaccine works has to.
Yeah.
Because mathematically there were less at this time last year.
Well, yeah, there was a smaller number.
Yeah. So the vaccine works and the vaccine's been rolled out. So no sense in locking the country down, right? The vaccine works.
Yeah, we saved 8 lives.
I just did it in math.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did the math. The vaccine works because there were less deaths at this time on this day last year than there were this year. So the vaccine works. No need to lock down. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, we're all good. Everything's going exactly according to plan.
Yep, your precious vaccine works.
Yep, everything's
24
great.
deaths last year. Also pick another random day in November. Oh, what happened? There's only 11 deaths on November 16th of last year.
Whoa.
That's not good.
How many do we have this year?
On November 16th?
Yeah.
I think November 16th. Oh, scroll past it. 25.
Whoa. Uh-oh, maybe the vaccine doesn't work.
Wait, maybe it doesn't work. God. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm being a dick right now, but
no, I mean, it's really ridiculous, right? And so I heard this quote the other day. I forget. I think it was from Peter Attia, who was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Do you know Peter Attia?
No.
He's relatively big in the fitness world. He's not a fitness guy per se. He's an MD. But he's really good buddies with Rob Wolf. So if you ever gotten into like Rob Wolf stuff, like you'll eventually come across Peter Attia.
The paleo guy?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, the paleo CrossFit guy? Yeah. From, if this was still 2007, then yeah.
I was gonna say 2006.
Yeah.
Then they kicked his ass out.
Yeah, he's done a lot more since then. He actually does a lot of really good stuff. I like Rob Wolf a lot. But again, that's neither here nor there.
He's the paleo guy.
So Peter Attia,
paleoism.
Yeah, he invented it. Peter Attia was on Joe Rogan, and he said that he was quoting someone else. So I'm quoting a guy quoting someone else on another podcast. So that's like 4 levels of Kevin Bacon inception.
Dressed as a dude, playing another dude.
Yeah. But he said, this guy goes, the pandemic is not going to end when everyone gets vaccinated. The pandemic is going to end when everyone gets the virus. And I was like, that is super intelligent. Like, that's a very intelligent thing to say. Like, that's really smart. You know what I mean? Because clearly the vaccines aren't as good as we thought they were. They're pretty good for roughly 6 to 8 months, right? But after that 6-month period, they're not so good anymore. That's like pretty well shown in the science, right? Because we want to believe the science, because that's what we're supposed to do. The science shows us that after 6 months, they lose a significant amount of efficacy. So just getting everybody vaccinated isn't going to be enough to get rid of this thing. Everyone just has to get it, right? And then build up the natural immunity, and then we just fucking move on. The other thing that Peter Attia said on this podcast that I thought was great, it was an awesome episode. I highly recommend it. Joe Rogan with Peter Attia. He was like, I don't understand what people's hesitation is and why we can't just live with the virus. And this is a doctor, right? He's a MD and a practicing doctor too. He's not like fucking Dr. Oz. Like he's a legit practicing doctor. He has patients that he sees regularly. And he was like, we need to just suck it up and like live with the virus. And he's like, this is never going away. So all of these people that are talking about this, like for some reason, the point is sticking out of my head when he was like, so 50 years from now, are you still going to be walking around wearing masks? And he's like, if that's what you want to do, like, go for it. Like, everyone, if you want to wear a mask forever, then that's your prerogative. But the entire world needs to fucking move on at this point. And again, this is a medical doctor who is an actual doctor.
Well, there's one problem with that.
Well, it doesn't fit the media narrative.
No, he's not a politician.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
You're supposed to listen to politicians.
Yeah. We're only supposed to follow the science until we have to follow the politicians.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're supposed to get medical advice from politicians.
Yeah, because I mean,
like the press secretary. That's who we should be getting medical advice
from. Yeah.
And a guy who thinks he's 58.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, I sent you the thing, right? The Ron Burgundy.
Oh yeah, I just read.
Joe Biden pulled a Ron Burgundy. He's reading the teleprompter like exactly. He was like saying something, and then he just goes end quote, and then just starts talking again. It's like no, you don't read that part. You don't read that part of the teleprompter.
We'll put a question mark on the teleprompter.
Yeah, I'm Ron Burgundy.
No, but didn't he like do some speech, and at the very end he said something about finishing or like celebrating his 58th birthday?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's 58. I don't know. I mean, he also fucking well, maybe it was the same speech that he called Satchel Paige a Negro on. Did you see that one?
No.
Yeah. So if he thinks he's 58, that means he thinks it's what, 30 years ago? You still can't say that in the 70s and the 80s, but still, whatever.
He was saying it in 94, wasn't he? Like, wasn't that one of his big criticisms?
Yeah, well, he helped write the crime bill, which put a bunch of black people in jail. But so he's given this speech, right? At some point. I don't know what the speech was for, but he's up there and he's like, yeah, as the great Negro, the guy played, he was a pitcher in the Negro leagues, and eventually went on to be a great Major League Baseball player. His name was Satchel Paige. And everyone's just like, whoa, back the fuck up. You just said the Negro. And it's like, I get it. I know what he was trying to say. He was trying to say
the
Negro League pitcher, Satchel Paige, but he has vascular dementia, and he is saying the inside part on the outside, where his brain is trying to work through how to remember what to say, and he's just saying words. Like, it's fucking wild. It was bad, but the media won't cover it. The media won't talk about it. At least, the left-wing media. And then you have the people on the right that are like, he's racist. Where's BLM? And it's like, all right, again, can no one have a fucking normal fucking conversation about anything?
No,
can we not just be like, hey, can we have an adult conversation for a second? And like, maybe this guy isn't fit for office. Like, we have to either totally ignore it and pretend like, oh no, he's totally fine, or be like, oh yeah, he's a racist and a bigot. See, he said Negro. And it's like, all right, everyone is missing the bigger picture here. The bigger picture here is this guy's brain doesn't work so good, and he's the leader of the free world. Like, what? Stop yelling at each other about stupid shit, and like, maybe have like a real conversation that, like, I don't know, man.
You are asking for way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much. But I mean, I know I said it in the group. Kamala Harris is the betting favorite from Bet Online to win the Democratic nominee in 2024.
Yeah, so you could put a fucking trash barrel with a red tie on it as the Republican nominee, and it'll win.
Which I just think too, again, so you just follow the gamblers. If this was what year? Okay, so I guess you'd have to go back to 2016. But if you go back to 2016 and you would say who's going to win the Republican nominee, Trump would be like minus 10,000.
Yeah.
Because he was the incumbent president and probably had every intention on running. And there was no sense in having another person be the favorite.
Right. So
her being the favorite caught my attention, if nothing else. Because the other thing too is, like, I don't want to just say the gambling lines are correct, because the betting favorite is just who are they gonna reduce their liability with.
Right.
So take whoever's gonna give or bring in the most amount of money, and that's gonna be the worst odds.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you would think that would be the incumbent, not the fucking current vice president.
Yeah. Well, because he's probably not going to make it, dude. But don't worry, though, because he didn't announce, but Jen Psaki announced for him that he's going to run for re-election in 2024. At what would that make him? 81 at that time.
Yeah,
so he thinks
like 81 going on 131.
He thinks he's going to be in office until he's 85.
Actually, dude, 4 years from now, he'll only be 62.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, you gotta check your maths again.
So I was just looking this up, trying to find the video, and I've come across like some pretty awesome stuff. So I'm gonna play the audio of the video for you in a second, but the first thing I found, or one of the top articles, was from MSN. Again, this is DuckDuckGo, right? Because I don't use Google anymore. And MSN, the title of the article was, "No, Joe Biden did not call Satchel Paige a Negro." So I clicked on it because I was like, well, that's a blatant lie. And then in the body of the article, they said they called him a great Negro. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing here? So
if you put a compliment before dropping an N-bomb on someone, does that make it okay?
yeah, yeah, exactly, right? Like, all right, so MSN is fucking stupid. But here's the clip from YouTube.
I've adopted the attitude of the great Negro at the time, pitcher in the Negro leagues, went on to become a great pitcher in the pros, into the Major League Baseball after Jackie Robinson. His name was Satchel Paige.
So that clip is 19 seconds long, right? It took him 19 seconds to figure out the name Satchel Paige. That's essentially like what the speed that his brain is working at right now, right? Because that's how this works, right? You get dementia, obviously your brain function slows down. There's all kinds of bullshit going on. If he were lucid and like 30 years younger, he would have been like, yeah, and I'm reminded of the great Satchel Paige and the quote that he used to say, or all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but because he's old and full of dementia, he goes, the great Negro pitcher in the Negro leagues, who went on to become a pitcher in the Major League Baseball after Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige. like we just got to watch how his brain worked through that, because he said the inside part out on the outside. And he called Satchel Paige a Negro. I'm sorry, a great Negro.
Yeah, please.
So it's okay. But that is bad.
Yeah, no cause for concern there.
Yeah. But yeah, he'll be running for re-election in 2024. Dude, he's not going to be alive in 2024. And we're fucked, because Kamala Harris is literally the least liked person in the entire country. So, funny story. I typically don't really give a fuck too much about this bullshit, but like a lot of the podcasts that I follow, like they tend to talk about these statistics all the time about like approval rating, right? And all this stuff. Like Breaking Points does it, like Crystal and Saga, like it's their job, right? They're news people. So that's part of the news. But I think this is interesting, right? And I think this is fucking awesome. So Kamala Harris, her approval rating currently is 28%. 28%.
That seems bad.
Approval rating. It is the lowest approval rating of any vice president since the statistic has been tracked, which means it is lower than everyone's most hated vice president of all time, Richard Dick Cheney. People hate Kamala Harris more than they hate Dick Cheney. The guy that shot someone in the face and had him apologize to Dick. Dick Cheney shoots some poor motherfucker in the face, and then that guy feels the need to apologize to Dick Cheney. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, I was standing right in front of your fucking gun.
Shouldn't have been standing there.
Yeah, yeah. The guy that fucking put us in a 20-year war that we just ended this year, albeit like an idiot, but it's over theoretically for now at least. That same guy, right? That same fucking guy had a higher approval rating than Kamala Harris. And she is going to be your 47th president of the United States for a short period of time because Biden ain't making it to 2024. So he'll die.
Cool.
She'll get sworn in. She'll get whatever, a year and a half, 2 years. And then she'll promptly get fucking obliterated by whatever trash can with a red tie gets rolled out.
Donnie's gonna run again.
Yeah. So he fucking sucks, right? Donald Trump fucking sucks. He's a fucking absolute moron. He's an idiot. He could beat Kamala Harris. Right? Like he could beat Kamala Harris. Like she is the most unliked person in politics,
U.S. politics,
in the country. Yeah.
No, but isn't it? But you said it was in history, right? Or just vice presidents?
Vice president since the statistic has been tracked.
So she's the most unlikable vice president in history
ever. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know when they started tracking it, but like they probably didn't do approval ratings in fucking 1812.
Are any regular presidents that bad?
The only one in recent memory that I could probably think of was Jimmy Carter. But even I don't think his was even probably that low. He was probably in the 30s, I would imagine. People really didn't like Jimmy Carter.
I got to do this out loud, which is unfortunate.
You got to pull a Biden.
Truman, it's more like a Mike Francesa where I just start counting. Richard Nixon, 24.
Tricky Dick.
No one else. The next lowest, because I don't think actually, have they not had these lists forever?
No, that's what I was saying.
Or I'm sorry, for the president as well.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess it goes back to Truman. Truman was a 32, Carter 34, Nixon 24, W 34, Trumper 34.
Yep.
So no one's as low as 28 except Nixon, who was 24, and he got his ass impeached.
Yeah. Well, so did Trump. The highest approval rating.
Did Nixon get removed?
No, he resigned.
He resigned.
Yeah.
No one's been removed, right?
I believe not. No one's actually been well. So Clinton actually got impeached too. So the way, I always fuck this up, but like, I think even if you get impeached in both the House and the Senate, I don't think you have to leave office. I think you're just a lame duck, essentially. Like you lose your executive power and executive privilege. Like, I don't know. It sounds really stupid, but there's a lot of really stupid things part of the government.
Richard Nixon was not impeached because he resigned beforehand. You can't fire me because I quit.
Right, right.
Yeah, it was Andrew Johnson, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. They're the only people who have been impeached.
Yeah. But oddly enough, the highest approval rating was one Bill Clinton, William J. Clinton. Had a 66% approval rating by the time he got out of office.
Yeah, not bad.
So the one I'm looking at is the final approval rating too.
That's what I pulled up.
Yeah. So it could have been different. Like I said, like with Jimmy Carter at 34, like it could have been lower at some point in his presidency.
Yeah, like maybe they didn't realize how bad he was at first.
Yeah. So that's all that. Is there one for vice presidents? Have you found one?
I didn't even bother looking, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, because looking at this, presidents with the lowest approval rating, George Bush, 71%. Does that mean that, that's how much we're against? I don't know. I don't know what any of this
Well, there's an approval and a disapproval.
Yeah.
And they're not the same.
Yeah. Oh, this was the highest disapproval ratings. Okay. I don't know. I think it's all dumb. Like I said, like I'm not like a huge follower in all that stuff. It's just I hear people talk about it all the time. So in another interesting turn, this is a part that gets the conspiracy wheels turning a little bit for me. So 23andMe, right? The big the fucking genetic company. They do ancestry stuff like family tree and also just a genetic profile. Like they'll give you like what your like if you have any health traits or they're also it's like lineage, right? Because I've done it. That's how I found out I was 10% Ashkenazi Jew and fucking whatever the fuck else I was. Yeah, Ethiopian or whatever the fuck.
4% Neanderthal.
Yeah, I was 4% Neanderthal. That's what it was.
The Ethiopian thing you did shit face at the Cape one time.
Yeah. So they just came out and said, well, I don't know if they came out, but it was found out that they've been collecting genetic information for reasons other than what they purported on their fucking whole like business plan.
I'm just checking really quick if I own any stock in this company because I know they were a merger company that you sent us one time, and I don't think. No, I did not buy any stock in this.
No, at one point in time, I did own stock in 23andMe, but then I sold it after a little while. So this gets every single tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist. This gets them fucking frothy, right? They get nice and they got frothy balls right now. They're all fired up because they're like, see, I told you, they're collecting data. They're just collecting genetic info. They're going to do all kinds of crazy shit. They're going to track you. They're going to track you as if like, also my favorite thing too is the people that are like, because I've had this conversation with people and they're like, I would never do a 23andMe. They're going to track you. They're going to take all your genetic information. They're going to make clones. They're going to do all kinds of stuff. But the big thing is, they're going to track you everywhere you go while they hold a fucking brand new iPhone in their pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and they have these guys probably not are going to have Alexas in their homes, but you know what I mean? It's like along those type of lines. Like you have an Alexa and you use an iPhone and you're like, oh no, the government, they're going to track you. It's like, then get a fucking flip phone and throw the Alexa away and buy a car from 1992. You know what I mean? Like,
don't have Wi-Fi in your house.
Right, exactly. So whatever. Most of those people are just idiots. But like I said, I do think it's interesting that it was found out that they have been collecting data in order to sell your genetic information to, wait for it, none other than Big Pharma.
Imagine that.
So that Big Pharma can use the DNA profiles of all these people to create new drugs. So you could make the argument that it is kind of beneficial, right? Because these companies, these pharmaceutical companies, now this is a completely theoretical, hypothetical world, right? Like these pharmaceutical companies can be like, okay, well, now that we have the genetic profile of all of these people, we can find a drug that would best fit most people for X drug in Y situation, right? It sounds good in theory, but at the same time, that's not what we signed up for when I spit in the fucking vial.
Oh, now they got your info, dude.
Yep, they got my info. Yeah, but I'm gonna go off the grid.
You're gonna have to take the tape off your phone.
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting, right? Because it's one of those situations where this is what the quote crazy conspiracy people were trying to warn everyone about. Be like, don't spit in that tube. they're gonna take your genetic information, and everyone's just like, I don't give a fuck. They're not gonna do that. And lo and behold, that is exactly what 23andMe has been doing the entire time. And they've been selling your genetic information to pharmaceutical companies to help with research. So
you don't have to be thrilled about it, but are you surprised?
No.
Okay.
No. And it's one of those things, like when I did get it and I did do it, I was like, yeah, I am well aware of what the potential consequences could be. You know what I mean? Like, not that there were any actual, I say that as if like I believe there's real consequence. There's no real consequences. They probably didn't even use my DNA because they probably put it in a system and was like, wow, this guy's really fucking retarded. We can't use his DNA for anything.
He's
so
too stupid to fix.
Let's just throw this one away. I actually don't know how this guy's even alive.
Yeah, this is no good.
Yeah, this guy, no. He's got extra chromosomes. He's missing some of them.
He ends up netting out. He ends up netting out the same. But yeah. He has ones he shouldn't have, and he's missing ones he should.
Yeah, he's got too much DNA in some places. He's got not enough DNA in other places. I don't know. This guy, can someone find this guy? So, but yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew, and I was like, yeah, they now have access to my fucking genetic profile, but also like, who gives a fuck? Like, it's DNA. You know what I mean?
They're going to use your DNA to make another one of you.
Yeah, well, that is the first step towards the fucking rapture, my friend, because...
Is that a crime against humanity, you think? To clone one of us?
Yeah, it's got to be. One of us is enough.
Not even a crime against, like, I wouldn't feel a crime against me. I feel like it would be a crime against whatever being they created.
Yeah, like that person does not need to exist.
That's so fucking useless that now you have burdened that being.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's bad enough that there's like 7 or 8 of us that are all friends and we're all equally as fucking dumb. Imagine like if you just cloned any one of us. My God, that would be terrible. That's awful. The world doesn't need that. No.
And this hypothetical, again, thing that hasn't existed yet doesn't deserve that
either. Yeah, they don't need to feel what I feel.
Sure don't.
You want to start wrapping this up? It's about that time.
We can wrap this up. So This is going to come out on Thanksgiving. I don't know if you're going to be listening on Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This might be like one of the lowest fucking listened to episodes like ever because it comes out on Thanksgiving.
I mean, every year we've put one out.
Correct. Yeah.
On Thanksgiving, wouldn't they all just rival each other?
Probably, yeah.
Thanksgiving typically is a Thursday every year.
Usually it falls on a Thursday.
Generally, it's a Thursday.
Yeah. Only on even and odd years, though.
And what is it, a leap year? Because it flips when there's a leap year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tomorrow, when you're listening to this, is the Bryson and Brooks match.
Oh, yeah.
And Brooks just signed a deal with Strixon.
I saw that. I got an email about that. I don't know why.
Why the fuck did you get an email?
I don't know.
From who?
From Strixon.
Have you ever bought anything from Strixon?
No.
They probably got your info from your DNA.
Yeah. Fucking 23andMe.
So they're playing tomorrow. This just feels like a big money grab. I don't think they actually hate each other. I think all that shit was built up just so that they could have a match, so that they can get a big payout, because that's all this is.
Absolutely.
I think 12 holes will be perfect because it will be about 3 hours on TV. It'll fit right in the window. They'll interview who they interview, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I think that the Strixon signing times up very interestingly, because I think this event is going to be a big money grab for both guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Strixon must have backed up the Brinks truck for Koepka.
Yeah.
So
wasn't he a Mizuno guy?
No, when Nike stopped making clubs, he hasn't had an equipment deal since Nike.
Oh, but he does play with Mizunos, though, I think.
So
right?
he was using
or at least the wedges.
So for years, he would go TaylorMade woods, Mizuno irons, Vokey wedges.
Mm-hmm.
He had a Scotty Cameron putter, and he was playing a Titleist ball. And he did that. I forget when Nike got out of the equipment industry, but he's been doing that since then. I think last year he started playing Strixon irons.
Okay.
And this is not a confirmed number. This is a guess from a former PGA Tour player. If Jon Rahm got $5 and $100 million to play Callaway, I got to imagine Koepka's getting close, if not more, from Strixon, because Strixon doesn't have as many tour contracts.
Right.
So I would assume that they're just going to put their money into 3 to 6 like real guys.
And
I think they still have Matsuyama.
I don't think it's a stretch to say that Koepka is a bigger draw than Rahm. So, like, obviously, Rahm is the number one player in the world. Say what you want, all that shit. You know what I mean? But, like, if you have Koepka, you know what I mean? Like, I think Koepka's a bigger name to most people. Like, people know who Bruce Koepka is more than they know who Jon Rahm is. And I'm not saying it's, like, far and away either. Like, it's not like he's, fucking, Bruce versus fucking Smiley Kaufman or anything. But I think Brooks is more popular than Jon Rahm, especially here because he's American and Jon Rahm's Spanish. That's a factor too,
Yeah, that's a good point. Two golfers, it might be a lot closer than you think, because a lot of people don't like Koepka and everyone seems to like Rahm.
Yeah.
I'm talking to like actual golfers.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't like Rahm. He doesn't do much for me. He's just really good.
Yeah, he's good. I don't hate him.
All he brings.
It's like I don't hate him, but like
he didn't do anything for me either.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
It's like Roars. What does Roars do for anybody?
Yeah.
Except let them down. I don't know.
Yeah. I prefer Steve Ballesteros to Jon Rahm.
So, needless to say, Bruce gonna be a rich guy after this week.
Oh yeah.
Gonna be a rich man. He probably made $35 million this week.
Yeah.
Without even having to touch a club.
Which is wild.
It is. Which is even more interesting because did you hear how the Saudis want to create a competitive golf league?
Oh, really? I think I did. I heard something.
Greg Norman is like,
yeah, that's okay. Okay, so that's who's backing it is the Saudi fucking princes. Because I heard that I knew Greg Norman was making a different golf league. Because then everyone was talking about like, well, gosh, if the guys from the tour wanted to go play there, then they would, essentially lose their tour card or something. Like the PGA would reserve the right to like take it away or something.
Yes. Now, I don't know if it'll happen. I don't think it really will. So the PGA Tour is saying that if you go and play for the Saudi League, you can never come back, basically.
Yeah.
So for a lot of guys, that's going to hurt. But the Saudis are offering guaranteed money.
Yeah.
They're offering like 2 years, 100 million. 3 years, 150 million. 3 years, 100 million.
Yeah.
To some of these guys to come over and play. And they can finish fucking last in every single event. And they get paid.
Yeah.
Almost like a real sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bryce Harper doesn't play another fucking baseball game. He gets paid all of his money.
Yep.
But the only problem is, will the league like work? Whatever. I don't know. I mean, they got more money than fucking anybody.
Well,
fucking,
yeah, especially
like
if it's
literally
Saudi.
like the richest family ever.
They are. That's so it's like the running joke, right? Everyone always talks about like, oh, Elon Musk is the richest guy in the world. Well, he's the richest guy publicly in the world.
He's the richest guy you've heard of.
Exactly. Because this like the top Saudi like royal oil family is probably worth like fucking $10 trillion. Like something fucking absurd.
Yeah, like ridiculous.
There's also been rumors. Now, again, these are just rumors, and I think a lot of it is a mystique to it. But I've heard rumors that Vladimir Putin is worth $7 trillion.
Seems too easy.
Yeah. Either 7 trillion or 7 billion. I don't know. Whatever it is, it was just an absurd amount of money.
So, and a couple other things with like the Saudi League, they would play off of PGA Tour weeks. Like, so they would play when they're not. So that's how they're going to get their exposure. They're going to get their money. The key is the majors don't belong to the PGA Tour. The PGA Tour owns and controls exactly 0 majors. So I'm trying to think of a good example, maybe a good realistic example. We'll use Phil. Phil's easy. The Saudis go to Greg Norman and the Saudis go to Phil. Phil will give you two and 100 million. Come play our thing. And he goes, fuck it. I ain't making 100 million any other way. I'm fucking old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go play your stupid thing. And then the Masters goes, well, you're a previous champ. You get to play. And the PGA of America goes, well, you won in 2021. That's a 5-year exemption. And the Open Championship goes, well, you're a previous champion. You're good. And the US Open goes, hey, I don't know. I mean, you're not a PGA Tour member, whatever. So he goes and local qualifies and gets through. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. They might actually have something Probably not, because I think these guys will be ballless. I think they'll be too afraid. And I don't know, because even if you take a guy like Kevin Kisner could leave, get his payday, but if he doesn't play well over there, they don't give him another contract. That's it.
Right.
Or like you're done playing golf. So, yes, you better be good with your money. But they're also talking about the purses being ridiculous too, like $30 million purses.
Jesus.
So, and my final point to all of this is, wouldn't it be a nice heel turn if the Saudis are looking at this and going, all right, well, we need some courses. Who's a guy that we like? Who's a guy that was good to us? It's got some golf courses. And who do you think I'm thinking of?
Donnie Ross?
Who brought peace to the Middle East?
Oh, yeah. Shit.
And
Donald
who owned
Trump.
a bunch of golf courses?
Donald Trump. Imagine.
That would be like fucking Vince pulling off the higher power.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Like, oh, that's Donald Trump's music.
Yep. Now the Saudi golf courses or the Saudi league just plays at Trump courses.
I mean, he owns them all around the world. So
yeah, that would be fucking hilarious. That'd be amazing.
So I don't know. I was just thinking.
It is going to be interesting for, like you said, like a guy like Phil, who, if they offered him 2 years and $100 million, how do you say no to that? Especially where you can still play the majors, right? And he's 55, 51. So say he signs a 2-year deal for $100 million, right? So then he's 53 at the end of the deal. Okay, he can't go back to the PGA Tour, allegedly.
And he wouldn't be able to go back to the Champions Tour either.
Right.
That would be the assumption.
Right. But maybe they extend him for 2 more years and like 50 million at that point.
We'll say then even if they extend him for 2 and 30, it's still $30 million.
Right. And now, so also he's playing in a weak field. So how many events is he going to win? That's going to be a $20-30 million purse. Like, he might get to 53 years old when his contract is up and be like, fuck you. I'm good. I'm going to retire. I'm going to go play golf for fun.
Well, and then
because I just made $250 million in the last 2 years.
So you run, and then this is where the appeal is. So like Louis Oosthuizen, a little bit older.
Yep.
Good player. People pay attention. He's from South Africa. You get the South Africans to watch. He's won a decent amount of money. Plus, all he wants to do is just hop on his fucking tractor and just live on his farm.
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
Right.
And you're going to say, hey, Louis, if you play 24 events over the next 2 years, now that's what a lot of people play in 1 year. You play 24 over 2 years. If you want to go play the majors, they're cool with this. We'll give you 80 million, and you get to play in these purses where if you finish fucking dead ass last, you win like $250,000. Fuck yeah, let's go. And then alternatively, you could take a guy like Sam Burns, who's younger, hates the USGA.
Yep.
Hates them. Doesn't really give a fuck what a lot of people think. Has won a few times. And they go, well, hey man, you're a little bit younger. So we'll give you 4 years, 160 guaranteed.
Yep.
That's going to give you 48 events with guaranteed money.
And now he's going to make $160 million, or he ain't going to make anything close to that.
He might only have tour. He might look at it and go, all I got to do is work for 4 years because I'll take my money, I'll put it in the right places, and then I'm going to go shoot a bunch of deer for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy doing that. Like that's what some of these guys do.
Right. Right.
What do you like to do? I hunt.
Yeah.
They spend all day drinking beer, sitting in a fucking camp, waiting to maybe shoot something.
Yep.
I think they can be bothered.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Nothing's guaranteed. It might not even work out. It might be all bullshit. But
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely an interesting story to pay
and the
attention
PGA
to.
Tour's never had competition. I don't know how they'd handle it.
Right. All right. So for my final thoughts, trying to decide which one of these I want to go with. I'll go with this way. It's a little bit shorter. I'll save the other shit for another time. So not too long ago, I watched Dune. Have you seen that?
Nope.
So I went in. So I actually, to go back even further, Amy had been asking me to watch it for a while. And I was like, nah, I don't think it's probably that good. Whatever. The only thing I was going off of, like the only thing I actually knew was that Dune was a movie that originally came out in like the 70s and it sucked. Like it was really bad. Like it was really, really, really bad. I think it might have gotten like a little bit of a cult following like later on, but like I think it's like notoriously bad. I've never seen it. I never saw it, but like it just stood out in my head that like, yeah, this movie was actually pretty terrible. So I had just assumed that it was because of like the story and been like, I don't know. So I avoided it for like a week or two or whatever. And she was like, I really want to watch this movie. And I was like, all right, fine, fuck it. Let's just watch it. So we watch it and actually was pretty good. I had a lot of like big name people in it. Jason Momoa is in it. Zendaya is in it. So MJ from Spider-Man. She's in it. I'm blanking on the guy's name. Oscar Isaac is in it. Poe Dameron from Star Wars. There's a few other like pretty decent names in it. All things considered, like it was a pretty good movie. It ends kind of weird. And then as I was like reading reviews and all kinds of stuff and hearing people talk about it, people kind of slammed it for the way it ended. But then I read some other reviews that were like, no, this is perfect. Like this is exactly how you want it to end because it ends on a cliffhanger. And it's supposed to be a series. But the first movie, I think, was so bad that it never got renewed for other movies. So this one is actually going to complete the series. So the way it ended, I think, was fine. You know, it leaves a little bit to be desired, but like that's the whole point of a cliffhanger, right? Like it's setting something up. But the big thing for me while I was watching this, I was like, whoa, this is like Star Wars. And then like after I found out, I read a little bit more about it, whatever. After reading more and learning, and then again, hearing people talk about it and reading reviews and educating a little bit more about like, you know, the books that were written in like the 60s or whatever. George Lucas, kind of a fucking dickhead. He stole a lot of shit, or I'm sorry, quote, borrowed. You know, not that we're big enough to actually have anyone of substantial magnitude listen to this, and let alone.
Imagine getting sued by George Lucas.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'd be like, I'm just gonna fucking kill myself. That guy literally has more money than fucking God. But George Lucas.
He doesn't have anything.
Yeah. What'd you say?
What would he sue us for? We don't have any.
Yeah, no, exactly. I know. But George Lucas like pretty much stole a lot of shit from Star Wars right out of Dune. Like it's weird. It's really weird. It's because the original, I don't know who wrote the books. But the books were published in the 60s. And then obviously the Star Wars movies came out in, the first one was what, 1978, 79, something like that.
Yeah, around that.
and it's weird. So this isn't like really like spoilers, and also the movie's been out now for a few months, so fuck off. They have, what do they call it? They call it The Voice, and it's like essentially the Force. It's like they do this thing called The Voice, and it's like a combination of like the Force and like Jedi mind tricks. I mean, like, these are not the drones you're looking for. Like, that's pretty much like The Voice that they do in Dune. They go to like a desert planet. There's sandworms. You know what I mean? There's like a lot of like really weird. There's like sand people, right? There's a tribe of people that live in the desert, and the sand people. I mean, there's no lightsabers and there's no fucking, any shit like that, but there's wars being fought over land. Like, there's one big government so we only have seen one movie yet, so we haven't really been introduced to a ton. And I know the books exist, but I'm not going to read them. But we've been alluded to that there's this one big government. It's kind of like an empire that controls everything and like pulls the strings and like sets up these like little factions against each other.
So how does this relate to Star Wars at all?
Yeah, you're right. It's totally different. My bad.
No, it's way different.
Yeah. So, like I said, the only thing that is missing is like fucking aliens and lightsabers. Like, other than that, it's pretty fucking similar.
I don't know, man. Without aliens and lightsabers, they're not really even close to the same. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, still, there's only one movie.
The Voice, I don't know. I'm not buying it.
But it's good. Like I said, I would check it out. I would recommend it. It's definitely the first movie in a series, right? Like, it sets up a lot of stuff, but it doesn't necessarily like give you a whole lot in the way of like action or like things getting done. I mean, it's almost like an origin story in a way. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go into it thinking it's going to be, Empire Strikes Back. Because it's not. It's like, it's just setting things up, but it's still good for what it is. So I enjoyed it. So I put my stamp of approval on Dune, and also Star Wars ripped off a lot of stuff from Dune.
I don't know, man. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah. Well, what we can see is the end of the show. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe. If you didn't click it earlier when we told you, click it now. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Go to the iTunes store. Leave us 5 stars. Give us a review over there. Subscribe if you're just listening on the audio version. Big thank you to mybookie.com. Use our promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up. Double your first deposit up to $1,000. Again, mybookie.com, promo code SarcasmPod. Also, thank you to grillyourassoff.com. Again, I use them tonight. I use them almost every day. It's awesome. The best seasonings in the world. They also have awesome t-shirts, hats, aprons, accoutrements, and all kinds of fun stuff. So go to grillyourassoff.com. Use our promo code SarcasmPod. Same promo code for 15% off your entire order. It's a multi-use thing. You use it every single time you buy. So you buy a bunch of seasonings, you run out. Well, go back and use the promo code SarcasmPod again, and you'll get another 15% off. So use it as many times as you want. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. The Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. And until next time, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Fuck the pilgrims.